We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start the drive with Harris, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. And this defense for the Jags, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Now back to throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He'll look to throw, and he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Well, on that one, they go with the play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 26. They're going to look to throw. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Back to throw again. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he will get a shot here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football. I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At about the 32. And they'll begin by running the option. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper it in 2nd and 1. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain. And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Jaguars in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. And some room to maneuver. The 20. For a touchdown, Jaguars. Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. I wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game. After through the raindrops, something good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone. Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points. Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll look to throw here, and that is incomplete. We just saw a break out on 3rd down. Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very touchdown Jaguars. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield. And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. Connection there for the touchdown. And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football. He rifles one that's intercepted. picked up by Fulasade American. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there. Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. After one, a 14-3 ball game. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. An option handoff given to Harris. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Jags are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Travis Etienne with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. Room here to run. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 106 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. On 1st down, right back to Etienne. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now Lawrence to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. And the Steelers will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down right around the 18-yard line. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Agnew now to return. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. This complete to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now Lawrence on 1st down. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. They got his man complete. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 44 yards. And they'll run with Etienne. And a loose football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Going for it, here's Etienne. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Steeler defense will celebrate the goal line stand. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this is potentially a nervy situation this close to their own goal line. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But
and he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne. As the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and through. And a run is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman, the RDA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Garden, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Second half starts with a run by Etienne. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. They go play action now. Lawrence. Hard throw, incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side to Higgins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught by Rick. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Jags grab it.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From midfield now, Lawrence. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A give, it's ETN off the option. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And he loses the football a second time. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
ETN up the middle. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Another tote for ETN.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne
with career touchdown number 70. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And they'll push the lead up to 29 now.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he's brought down short. 2 yards here, needed 4.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. 174 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with the 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at, and now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
It's brought in by Harris. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And he's going to use his legs here.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
A give running right, Etienne.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Travis Etienne,
43 yards.
And the Jaguars are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always goes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
Able to find his man, it's Pickens.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Complete. Richardson has it.
And he'll get this forward only for about a yard as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're on the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
A throw there, but that's going to be incomplete.
One of the things you like about a zone read play that has an option component to it is that it gives you plenty of different ways to go. On this one, though, I'm not sure they chose the right one. Maybe they should have pitched it out on this one because that play was absolutely swallowed up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have the Steelers' 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7.
They'll look to throw again. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, And the Jaguars are going to take possession here in the turnover on downs. Now ETN to start the drive. And some space here. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll go again with ETN. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll air this one out for Kirk. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Back to throw here. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So, big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far.